Hello coach, welcome to the post-match conference. We have a couple of questions from media. The first one is from Sportskida. It was probably the worst time to concede, but soon after the interval you had two decent chances. What was your team talk at the half-time?
Of course, those team talks are not very easy when you concede so late. We've spoken very much about critical phases of the game, and to concede when we did was a low blow. So we go in, and I'm talking about a response. I'm talking about some of the things we spoke about before the game. We didn't really open up the game when we won the ball. We were quite good in closing down the spaces, and I think we were frustrating them and getting into the game. But our quality in possession, we lost the ball far too many times and gave them possession. And they are good when they're in possession, especially higher up the field. So we spoke about that. We put a couple of things right tactically, but then it was now we've made a hill for ourselves. Can we climb it? And we came out. I thought as you say, we pushed on. We had a couple of decent situations, and then as the game wore on, our quality let us down more and more. So they really stretched us out with creating 2v1s down the side, and what we were forced to do is try and go with three and push the wing backs tight and gamble a little bit. And so we wanted to get back into the game. We didn't get enough play in the last third, and I don't think we had a direct strike on goal from all of our situations that we created. So disappointed in the quality, that we're not transferring more from training field to match day.
Coach, Bengaluru FC and Northeast United FC, two teams yet to test defeat coming up next.
Yep.
Is that a tall order because you are still chasing the first win?
Yep. I think everything's a tall order for us at present. You know, we've all gone through the bio bubble experience. It's been very tough on us because we have a very young team, and they need time on the training field. It's the same for all the coaches, so that's not an excuse. But it sort of mounts up, doesn't it? You know, there's that, and then you don't get off to a good start, and then you keep demanding more, and you make the changes, and the confidence is a little bit seesaw. I think the players have approached it really, really well, and they thought going into this game that we had a real chance, and we had a game plan, but we didn't. The game plan was never strongly executed. It was only patches, and that's not going to be enough. So we've got to come with a massive response in these next two games, because anything less will not turn the corner for us.
Coach, next question is from goal.com. Was there a lack of creativity in the midfield in the absence of Marcelinho?
Well, we chose to go with the three midfield players with Vinit, who's making his first game back, and Cole, and we thought we'd get them higher up the field. We didn't pass the ball well as a team tonight, so the creativity, I don't like saying the creativity in the midfield, because we didn't have enough good possession of the ball for someone to be creative, really. You know, it was always forced. So I think that if we can get a hold of the ball better, open the field a little bit better, then you'll see that those players also have creativity. But Marcelinho is a creative player, so if he's not on the field, you always miss it. If he's not on the field, you always miss it.
Coach, why was he held back till so late?
Because basically I didn't think that Marcelinho would be the solution to the many problems that we were facing. You know, I didn't want to open the flanks even more. We'd open it by going to a 3-5-2 and pushing our wing backs tight, but I didn't want to take away one of the front players, because then Diego was the one that was looking like he may give us a spark. Mano was the one that was a focal point for us, and I couldn't take off one of the centre backs because that's where we were getting hurt. So I waited until I thought, well, I'll give it 10 minutes and let's see if we can come up with a little bit of magic.
First, next question is from Khel Now. What's yet to be done to solve the goal throughout your team is going through?
Well, if I had the answer to that and I could bottle it, I would be a millionaire. The front players are not the only ones to blame. You know, our possession is to blame, our deliveries into the box are to blame, our timing of movement is to blame, our low block not being good on transition is to blame. And of course they are also to blame because their job is to put the ball in the back of the net. But there's a few things that we have to upgrade before we can start scoring goals.
Coach, next question is from ANI. What will it take for your team to lessen the number of yellow cards you receive each game?
Well, it's a difficult one because I think a lot of the yellow cards or the red cards that are not given or the red cards that are given or the penalties that are not given or are given and the offsides, the goals that we see that are doubtful. I think all of that you're going to find there's going to be peaks and troughs in which team gets yellow cards. I don't think our players play dirty. I don't think they play close to the edge. I think maybe other players are reacting strongly, so the referee thinks it's a bad foul. I don't think that there's. I think we have to be careful, but I think every team has to be careful. But I'm not sure it's as logical as that. You know, we've got a lot of yellow cards there for the players who are out of control. I don't think so.
Coach, a word on Arshdeep glove work? A word on the Arshdeep glove work?
Sorry, why?
How do you want to rate the Arshdeep performance tonight?
Arshdeep was very good. I think when a team has 20 strikes on goal, when 20 strikes and 10 on goal, your goalkeeper has performed well if it's only 1-0. So he made a few good saves that I think I expect him to make because he's a good goalkeeper. But he made a couple when you think that that's a one-on-one and he's made a really good save. So his performance was good, his kicking was quite good, and I think that's a very solid performance from him.
Coach, the next question is from the bridge. You had spoken about giving Goa their due respect before the game.
Yeah.
Was it too much respect?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a poor execution of our game plan. I think if we'd have done that, then it would have looked like we weren't giving them as much respect because we would have got at them more. Now, they are good down the flanks, and our distances in the first half were okay. In the second half, when the game got stretched out, and they could get us moving from side to side more, it wasn't as good. I don't think that was respect. I think that was more a poor execution of our game plan.
Coach, last question. Marcelinho had been carrying an injury for too long. How difficult is it to plan a strategy keeping his limitation in mind?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, but not impossible. That's not an excuse for the poor possession tonight. That's not an excuse for the poor execution of the game plan in the second half. That's just difficult. It's difficult because Marcelinho, on paper, is one of the players that will give us a bit of a spark. But if his fitness is not 100% and his injury is giving him trouble, then the question is relevant. It does make it difficult to plan and cater for him.